Hello, Internet! This is Robot,
Yeah. This is Don Juancho.
And Cody Vector.
and we're bringing you a replay. This one is from StarCraft Feedback subreddit of reddit.com.org.net. And at the bottom left, we've got the red Terran Dalcon, and spawning in the top right, we've got SmokeADub. Spawning is the blue Protoss in the top right. So what's going on here? We got the Protoss is he's scouting a little earlier than normal.
Very early scout.
A little weird, but maybe he just wants to be really safe. He doesn't really need to do that though. Especially playing against Terran, I usually scout pretty late and favored, getting a few extra minerals. That's just me.
But we should be talking about it because wasn't it Dalcon, the Terran player, that submitted this replay, correct?
That's right. And Cody Vector is our resident Terran expert, so we're going to have to let him do a lot of the analysis here for the Terran. But from what I know, it looks like he's doing kind of a standard barracks, throwing it down. Hopefully he's going to get a quick expo, but not doing an Exos first, which I think is a little risky, but it looks pretty standard.
So, Cody, just starting out, what do you think of this map, Entombed Valley?
I've played this one a lot. I like this map. It's fairly large, so longer level games. Yeah, I think it's a good map. You can get your tanks up on the ridge as a Terran player, break through those bricks and get your third. But it looks like here the Protoss player is trying to break through there. This is pretty typical, normal Zerg.
Ouch! The Terran just
wall.
let Worker get killed, which is kind of sloppy.
Did he lose one? He lost one. That's not good. And for some reason, these guys, Marines, going out on the ramp.
Oh yeah, he wants to kill that. He wants to kill that scout, of course.
Yeah. So what do you think a standard build is for this, Cody?
Against the Protoss player, I would say you want to go big bio. So I would say tech reactor as a standard build, barracks with a tech reactor, get a lot of Marines, a lot of Marauders, and then support them with medevacs. And if the Protoss player later or mid game starts going Templar, you want to counter that with the Ghost, because the snipe of the Ghost hits hard against Psi, and if it goes Colossus, you want to go Viking to counter that. But generally a bio build against a Protoss player.
But when should the expo go down, in your opinion?
As soon as possible in these bigger maps, because it's going to be a longer game generally, a lot of macro play. So you don't know exactly where the other player is on this big 4-player map. So yeah, I think he's doing the right thing. He's building a bunker. He's securing that expo straight away.
Yeah, and he pretty much got his command center right after the orbital command, and he's getting some bunkers. So he's playing it pretty safe, I think pretty standard, pretty normal.
Yeah.
Maxing up on minerals, and then he'll probably drop a couple of SBN. He'll drop the refineries here in a second, probably.
Yeah, I think he's playing pretty well right now. He's getting that expansion before Protoss, which is a good thing.
Definitely. He secured the Zelnaga watchtower in the center, so he can see if he knows the Protoss player is directly across from him now, so he wants to control that center of the map and look for any big pushes by the Protoss player.
Yeah, so just real quick, I know this is the Terran user submitted this, but the Protoss is going for, it looks like 2 gates with a robo followed up, which it's kind of weird. I think, what level is this again? Gold?
Yes, I'm going to say gold.
Okay, I can see this from gold, but usually, especially on a big map, you want to get your expansion down a little bit quicker. So I imagine that the Protoss is probably thinking he wants to get a robotics bay to get some Colossus out, I think. But he should be getting an expansion down. But this kind of a play, I think the Terran's really safe, and he's going to have a strong mid-game. As long as he scouts what tech route the Protoss is going, he should be fine. And the sooner he can figure out that the Protoss is a really late expo, if I were him, I'd throw down a few extra bunkers and just start pumping out a bunch of units, and should be good.
Yeah, I just threw down that scan. He can see that
he just burned his scan, right? So I think I probably wouldn't have done that myself, but he's probably stressed and worried that he might be going something out of the norm there. But he needs minerals and stuff. He needs to get down some bunkers and up his army.
But he still...
a little smile engagement, and he lost a stalker there.
Yeah, really sloppy by the Protoss. And the Terran Dalcon still... I don't think he's confirmed that there's no expansion, though. I think that's something really important that the Terran wants to be scouting for.
How do you do that? Do you just use a scan to scan for it? What do you suggest, Cody?
I would probably send an SCV over there. I wouldn't scan unless I had reason to believe that he was doing a fast X. Okay. And I'd probably scan his main just to see what the tech buildings and tech core he's going.
So you think he should burn 2 scans to scout?
No, I don't think he should have built. I don't think he should have burned that first scan because he wasn't in any danger. He had the Zelnaga watchtower. You can see that the Protoss player wasn't making any kind of big push. So I would have used that scan as a mule and then gotten my mineral count higher for more barracks and more Marines.
So it's just a small thing, but I've noticed that he's had 2 idle SCVs. I don't know if this is just stuck in a control group or something like that, but he's had 2 SCVs almost the entire game stuck in the front here.
There you go.
It looks like...
Here comes the Protoss player. He's going to make some kind of a push here. He's got an Immortal and a smattering of...
I think you guys are like 10 seconds ahead of me. Like, maybe just stop it for like a couple of seconds.
What are you on, faster or normal?
Oh, no, I'm on faster, but... yeah, it looks like they're just right outside the gate right now. It looks like
9:12, 9:13, 9:14, 9:15.
Yeah, you guys are a couple seconds ahead. But yeah, he's just pushing up the ramp right now with the Guardian Shield. Yep. But there's 19, nothing 19. Inside the bunker.
Right there, you got the guys.
There we go. Now pull those SCVs around, and those Immortals do all that damage to there. Looks like he's gonna.
They do a ton of damage.
Oh, is he gonna be able to hold this? This is close.
He doesn't look like he has stim yet.
Not quite, but this reinforcements coming down here, pulling the SCVs.
Needs to micro more with those Marines and not let this Zealot kill all the Marines. And these other Marines are just sitting there idle when they could be pinging on either the... Yeah, smoke that Zealot and then take out the portal is what you need to do. Micro, he's not microing.
Oh.
And subsequently, of course, he's going to lose, looks like, most of his armies, just streaming his Marines to die here. Not very good.
Yeah, they don't do that bad against Immortals though. 3 hits to
Well, they're good
against
Immortals, but you can't just have one confront them. You need to use a mass.
So
this should be better with the medevac supporting them. Yeah, there we go. Now.
All right, and this Immortal goes down. He lost a lot of SCVs, and it's a very smart play by Protoss to get that expansion while he attacks. Looks like he's going to be going for some upgrades, getting the double upgrades with the forges. But I don't know. It looks somewhat even, except the harvester count Terran's down by about 10.
Yeah, Protoss has a big lead with the harvesters for sure. And really with that push, the reason it was so successful is because the Terran didn't respond right. They needed to have a better idea of when the Protoss put down their expansion. And if you see that they're not putting their expansion down, throw down an extra bunker or two. Like, no reason not to.
For sure.
No reason not to, because if you're ahead by an expansion, you're like you're awesome. You're like way far ahead. As long as you can like defend any kind of aggression, which is almost certainly going to come. No, you're only going to keep getting farther ahead.
Let me say something here. He's got 6 medevacs, a grip of Marines. He's got 4 mules dropped, and even though he's behind by 10 workers, those 4 mules could definitely help him regain equality, if you will, in this race to build an army. And actually, he was leading him supply for a second, and it's 78 to 80. It looks like he's gotten supply blocked. He's got plenty of medevacs, which is not bad to have. Medevac cloud supporting that bio army. Yeah, I mean, he needs to get the shield and he needs to get the stem upgrade and maybe some like +1/+1.
Yeah, so it looks like he has stem, just still
2 starbacks, 2 starports. Oh, he has stem. Does he have a shield? He doesn't have a shield.
Yeah. So another small thing. I keep saying that you have all these idle SCVs. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, so in the bottom left-hand corner, just the idle SCV. Just start trying to be more aware of that. It really helps you out. It might seem small, but it's something like every in-game second is 1 mineral they could mine. So if that's, 3 minutes, that's 180 minerals for each SCV, which adds up.
Definitely, and it looks like he had one of the Vespian gas miners build a turret, and then he sent the guy back to mine minerals, which I don't understand. So he's got two on he's got two on one refinery and three on the other. So that's going to cost him some Vespian gas.
And so he's doing basically what you said. He has 10 medevacs out and a good amount of bio, mainly Marines. Do you think this is good? What do you think of this?
I think it's good. I think he really needs that shield, because with the amount of Marines he has for 100, which is a relatively small price, he could up the Marine hit points by 10 each. So, and in this kind of a ball, especially with the medevacs, which will keep them alive as well, he needs to have that combat shield, and he needs to be working on engineering upgrades like +1/+1 and stim and stuff like that. He needs to have all that. Plus, he needs to scout if this guy is going a Colossus build or if he's going a Templar build, and then adjust accordingly. And Colossus, the counter is Viking, and the counter, of course, for Templar would be Ghost with the Ghost Snipe.
Yeah,
which is psionic
real
unit.
quick, I'm just looking at the Protoss's build here, and I don't know what the hell this guy's doing. He got shields before armor, which is not a very good choice. He is getting charge now, which is a very good choice. He's got 2 robotics facilities,
pumping observers.
Yeah.
And he's got his Nexus is sitting there at 100 with he's not boosting anything. He's just kind of, and the opportunity cost there in economics, he should be boosting his buildings or boosting his tech structure.
Yeah, he is getting his third up though. So with this push coming, the Terran's going to have a lot of opportunity to drop. He's got 3 different choices that he can drop at.
Looks like an engagement is about to happen here. They're so close to each other. They're not going to not be able to see each other. And
all those medevacs though. The Terrans, the Terran's going to be able to heal up.
Yeah, they get full energy. Almost all of them are full.
Deal with this Terran bio ball here.
The upgrades do favor the Protoss, though. Not having those upgrades, I feel like that could hurt the Terran player. And I feel like he should really just, I don't know. It's
wait, the Terran's got stim, dude.
That's true.
Oh, but a Colossus just got in the mix. That changes everything.
No, now the Vikings are here. The Vikings are here to counter the.
You guys gotta slow down. I have no idea where you guys are at. I'm just seeing some force fields, and now I'm seeing the Colossus come out. And as he said, so maybe a couple of seconds behind. You guys got some crazy fast computer, but
we're at
you need these Vikings to start attacking this Colossus, or else.
Yeah, they're doing nothing.
Exactly. The Vikings are just hanging back. Oh, there they go. They're finally in the mix. You need to ping it out now. Yeah,
this
now
could be. I can't see what's going on. I gotta look underneath here.
There's so
all those medevacs. It looks like they took out everything.
I know he wondered in the, not to be a spoiler alert, but he wondered in the description of the Reddit, I had Vikings. What am I doing wrong against Colossus? And, one of the things he's wrong is let them hang out there and get sniped by those stalkers. Well, you sort of need to pull them back when they have nothing to engage.
Yeah, but in that last attack, he definitely did not have enough Vikings, in my opinion. But also, we're looking at 3 base versus 2 base right now, although I'm not seeing the Protoss slowly transferring probes to the 3rd base. And
I would say Terran has a lead right. He's got 140 versus 94. He needs to rebuild that bio as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I really think getting some upgrades up, and I don't know, is this a little excessive? 18 medevacs?
Yeah, that might be a bit much. I mean, he might want to pull that starport off that reactor and drop a barracks on there or something.
But they're both doing a pretty good job of keeping their minerals low. And it looks like Terran did just get 3rd, so it's shaping up to be a pretty even match so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the Terran really can't have too many medevacs, but the only downside is the Vikings. Are you gonna have enough Vikings?
Well, I think for the medevacs, it's.
If you can have 1 medevac per Marine, if they can all have their own personal medevac, I mean, that's great, right?
Yes, but if you can't get as many Marines...
He doesn't need to worry about building any more medevacs. What he should be doing is focusing on Vikings Marauders and Marines for sure.
Yeah, and also all of this, resources put into the air is taken away from the ground army, which is pretty important too. But I mean, that's a lot of Vikings, and if you're going up straight up against Colossus, should be good, right?
I agree. The only other thing about the Medivacs is it's a little annoying as a caster because you can't see what's underneath it.
Yeah.
Or that Medivac cloud that he has.
Yeah.
A fleet of Medivacs.
Another thing I just noticed though is that there's no Marauders. There's one Marauder, but Marines do particularly bad against Colossus. So even if you've got Vikings hitting down on the Colossus, if you're not controlling your army that well, in other words, if the Colossus are getting a whole bunch of shots off on the Marines, then the Colossus will kill all the
Marines. That's what they're doing right here. We have big engagement going on. Yeah.
So, pretty much what I just said.
That strong ground army and run away those Colossus. He will take out all of them.
Yeah, so the Terran really needed more Marauders.
Definitely. I totally agree 100%. You need more Marauders to even out that army.
And while before I said you can't have, there's no like too much Medivacs. It's like the whole. It's like where's the resource going to go? If you're going to take away from Marauders or Marines for your ground army to get like too many Medivacs, then you're hurting yourself for sure.
And then pushing forward with just a pure Viking army.
Yeah, it's just kind of throwing those resources away, and it looks like it's evened out right now, supply-wise. So this is interesting. I think that Terran could actually go and take their 4th right now because there's no Colossus out, so he can't really be putting on too much pressure. Well, he does need to get some more Marauders out, like you said.
For sure. He should be focusing on pure Marauders.
Yep. And he has a lot of guys at home, so maybe just kind of rally the troops up again. You want to make sure you have all these guys that...
Idle workers as well, as you said, as main. And a lot of could be dropping
15
mules.
idle workers definitely isn't good.
No, and then energy.
He also has a lot of Marines.
Marines at the top on his natural expansion.
Yeah, a lot of Marines that are not helping in the fight. They're just sort of hanging out at home drinking sodas.
Drinking some cider. And it looks like he's going to push on this 3rd right here. Although that 3rd is a planetary fortress, he can just repair it.
Yeah, that does not look
wow, this could be a big blunder by the Protoss.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, wow, yeah, he's probably going to lose his whole army right here. If Terran is smart right here,
army,
just
doing the right thing by repairing that planetary and cornering that Protoss player, but I feel like he still has...
Oh, wow, but he has 2-2 upgrades versus...
Got a bunch of idle Marines here.
Yeah, I just noticed the upgrades too.
Full energy, got a shitload of people who are just hanging out the main base, including a mined-out main. Get those SCVs mining, maybe even take a 4th, get some Marauders up, work on your tech. I mean, 159 out of 200, he should be good. He should be smashing right now.
Yeah, and on top of that, you're right. The upgrades are like much different. The Protoss has
it's like 1, 2,
he's
2,
getting his 3-3
or 2,
pretty soon too. So I think those upgrades are just going to be so devastating.
And we're 1-1 Marines, and we've got shield, armor, and weapon upgrades for the...
I do have to give it to the Terran, though. He is doing a really good job of keeping his minerals low.
He's up He's keeping minerals, but how many... Do we have idle workers right now?
His unit supply is really high, too. I mean, he's not doing that bad.
No, definitely not. I think, just take that 4th. Maybe get out a couple more Vikings, but I think the upgrades are going to be key.
Stim, tack.
Yeah, he has too small of a ground army.
Well, he didn't have any stalkers there for a while. He could have just ran in those Vikings and take them out. Looks like he's going to do that right now. But yeah, those Colossus just melting the infantry. And will these Vikings get picked off before they take out those Colossus? I don't know. That's a pretty good trade if you're taking out all those Colossus.
If you lose your whole ground army, that's not good.
I'm saying just for trading your Vikings.
Yeah. but the ground army already got lost. I mean, this is like a position thing. When you get late game Terran versus Protoss, it's like a huge positional game.
Caught out of position, as I said.
Yeah, so I guess it is tough attacking right into their ramp.
And the Protoss player has two probes, at least two probes that I can see in his, not probes, I'm sorry. Servers in his base, so you can see exactly what the Terran player is pulling forward with.
Yeah, but I think that Terran really has the time. He could go build that fourth. It looks like he's thinking about taking it. Hopefully he takes it soon.
Yep.
Oh, but we do have a little bit of an attack coming here. So what you're saying is positionally you probably really want to attack Protoss as they're in the middle, or once they're in an open space, right? To kind of spread out your troops. Attack at a couple of angles, kind of like a Zerg player would do.
Yeah, that's always good if you can flank.
Yes, I don't...
But I think it's more about keeping your... You want your...
It's like your unit composition.
No. What I'm trying to explain is that you want your Vikings chasing the Colossus. You want your ground army chasing their ground army, if that makes sense.
That does make sense.
And you don't actually want to engage your army with their Colossus. You want to avoid that as much as possible. On the other hand, you don't want to engage your Vikings with your against the Colossus when there's a bunch of ground army, if that really makes sense. You want to try to catch the Colossus out of position with the Vikings, or the army
looks
out of
like
position.
We have a little drop going off here in the third of the Protoss. He's only unloading half the guys though. There we go. Maybe unload some more of them.
He's making a lot of very simple mistakes. It seems like that.
I think that's a good way of buying time though. He's doing this drop. If he could have dropped the rest of them. But yeah, definitely he took those guys off mining. He made Protoss bring his entire army back.
Yeah, good for buying
I think
time.
That Terran could even lift off this orbital command at their main because it's not really doing anything. And for some reason he's still building SCVs out of it, and just take any other base. It's not doing anything for you.
Chilling on the smoke break and get them to work. Some turrets, make some defenses, pump a bigger army, max out, get your upgrades, go in there, attack smart. Use the Vikings against the Colossi, and use your ground army against his ground army. These multi-prong attacks are really useful for Terran.
Oh wow,
like
yeah,
right
that's
now he's doing
really
one.
Good.
He's dropping.
You can take out a lot of probes right here. Just stim.
Fourth, there you go. Drop
there you go.
Time stim everybody. Wow. Don't put him back on this side. He just lost half.
Yeah.
He just lost everything. Should have just left him on the ground and let him do their thing against the stalkers. Now he's out of position, so it would have been a great opportunity for him to counterattack either probably the second or the third Protoss base. He doesn't have any detection. It looks like he's stuck mid-game to me. They're like one Viking or one Raven rather, and getting all the upgrades, and then just sniping Colossi and engaging smart.
Also, from the Protoss perspective, I'm not seeing Templars, which this late I'd like to see. And I just noticed 4 Stargates,
all pumping
Phoenix. Can't say I think that's a great late game strategy for Protoss, but if you've got really high PM, maybe you could do some fun stuff with it.
You have a big attack going on. I think you need some more Vikings.
Man, not such good force fields. Well, he's got enough force fields to make, you throw some bad ones up, some more good ones up.
And Robotics pointed out what he did wrong there. He tried to use his ground army to snipe the Colossus, and they just couldn't get to the Colossus. Wow. It would have been better for them to engage Protoss ground army and let the Vikings snipe the Colossi. And the Vikings have the longest range in the game, I think. Or one of the longest ranges. They can shoot.
Nah, bro, siege tanks got the longest.
Well, I mean, I think a Vikings range is like 9.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So if you hold them back, the stock.
They got that new capital ship for Protoss. It's going to be like 22 range.
Jeez. And Dalcon has left the game in frustration.
Good game.
Cancel everything.
Dude.
Yeah, it was
I
a
don't
long
want to get
one,
on
a lot of
subject here,
macroing.
but you guys hear about the Broodlords? Have you guys seen the new battle report? They're changing
No, what's
it
going
so
on
they
with
can
them?
shoot
Yeah.
up too. So instead of them shooting broodlings, they shoot scourges out like back in the old days.
Oh my goodness, is that at least an upgrade or something? Yeah, at the end
Wait a
of the
minute, because I thought the Protoss was bringing back carriers, and the carriers, instead of shooting out interceptors, were going to shoot out scourges.
No, that's you're thinking.
So before we get too far off topic here, the Protoss player in this game had 333 upgrade, and the Terran player had 2 armor and 1 weapon. I mean, that's a significant difference.
Yep.
Yep, and I think not.
So you need to work. You needed to keep his upgrades going.
He only had 1.
Where's his eBay?
He only had 1. I think you really have to have 2 at that point.
He was almost got to armor level 3. He only had 1 armory. I mean, these things are crucial. You need to get those because you just get more bang for your buck in later
upgrade,
game.
right? For your Vikings, which you need more of.
Yep, you can. He needed more Viking. Yeah, Viking attack, air armor, ground attack all from the eBay. He only had 1 eBay. I would have double eBay here pumping. The hotkey is E for weapons and A for armor. And you know the armory, and especially he's got medevacs. I mean, there's no reason not to have plating on that stuff. And just let it survive. Maybe some ghosts, a splash of ghosts to hit him with the EMP blast when they're in that Protoss ball.
Yeah, take out the sentries too.
But otherwise, I get frustrating. He'll get it over. Dalcon. Just a little bit of just mismanagement on your army. You can overcome that, but you were out macroing the guy, so I think got some potential there.
Yeah. Cool. Well, say thanks for uploading the game. Hope we were able to teach you a little something, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Signing off, Don Juancho.
Robot.
And Cody Vector. Good game.